Oh, yeah.
Your Country 1039 KGRT, one of my favorites from Hardy with Lauren Elena and Devin Dawson. One beer.
Time now for your question of the day. Brought to you by the Farmers and Crafts Markets of Las Cruces. Fresh produce, bread, meat, honey, food trucks, handmade art, music, and more. Every Saturday and Wednesday, 8:30 a.m. to 1 p.m. downtown Las Cruces.
That's right. It's time for our question of the day, brought to you by the Farmers and Crafts Market of Las Cruces. And our question of the day comes from, well, time passes by. Yes, and as time passes by, things just seem to kind of fade away. And next thing you know, they're not there anymore. They're gone, yeah. And a lot of people online were talking about some of the things that have just disappeared. You know, like one day they're there, and next thing you notice, they're just not there anymore. You know, places like, you know, McDonald's play places. You could swear they were all there just a couple of years ago, and all of a sudden there's not any there. Or telephone booths. Yeah, they just gradually disappeared. How about this one? Manual windows. Actually, I don't have one anymore that has manual windows anymore. Handwriting. The yellow pages, or even this one, which has slowly disappeared as far as we go on with time, privacy. Yeah. So my question for you today is, what have you noticed when you take a look around has gradually vanished from society over the past 20 years or so, you know, without many people noticing that it's actually not there anymore, or very rare, I should say. So what is it that you've noticed that has vanished from society in your lifetime? You know, some of the things that were there a lot, but not anymore. You know, it could be just about anything. Maybe there's a certain food item that used to be very popular, but it's not there anymore. Maybe it's certain things like, I don't know, Radio Shack. I am a little bit of a nerd and a geek, so I do love Radio Shack. So, yeah, but they just kind of, you know, disappeared, slowly went away. So go ahead and let me know your answers for our question of the day. You can call them in. You can text them in at 575-523-KGRT. That's 575-523-5478. And, of course, we are live on our social media pages, so you can leave your comments down below as well. For our question of the day today, what is it that has gradually vanished from society over the past 20 years or so without many people noticing that it's now gone? Or, like I said, very rare and hard to find. Go ahead and let me know your answers for our question of the day. All right, exclusively up on our social media pages right now. So, yeah, what is it that you've noticed that has gone away? I think I've noticed, quite honestly, you know, customer service. It's kind of disappeared because everybody's shopping online, right? I mean, you can call in to get some help, but face-to-face stuff like that, kind of rare, at least I've noticed in my days. Also, what was one of the other things? Landlines, phone lines. Do you know anybody else who actually still has a landline? My mom does, and she actually still uses it on a fairly regular basis. So that's one of those things that is kind of rare to find. But what else is out there that, you know, you used to see a lot of, but you just don't see anymore? We'll put it this way. I'll throw it out there, right there. DVDs, anyone? Blu-rays, which are not really even that old. CDs in general. How often do you see those out there in the wild? Yeah, so go ahead and let me know your answers for our question of the day. What has gradually vanished from society over the past 20 years or so? Oh, within your lifetime, even if it's not even 20 years, I'm sure you've noticed a few things, but, you know, not many people notice it, or like you can't find it anymore. It's very rare. Let me know your answers. Once again, call them in, text them in, 575-523-KGRT. In the meantime, let's go ahead and see what's going on in and around the world. Martha Stewart says, or tells Us Weekly, that she wouldn't be the Golden Bachelorette even for $1 million. No, the guys aren't hot enough. It ain't about money. It's about how hot the guys are. Well, you know, props to Martha for at least being honest about that. Let's see. Chick-fil-A will debut their new streaming service, Chick-fil-A A Play, November 18th. The platform will feature original animated shows, scripted podcasts, games, crafts, and ebooks. Interesting. Restaurant Business News says that TGI Fridays is making preparations for a potential bankruptcy filing. The restaurant chain has faced challenges with sales growth and recent financial troubles. Wow. Wow. Also, let's see. Pizza Hut Australia has introduced the Venom The Last Dance menu. I'm not sure if I'd like to eat a food item called that, but it is now featuring the Venom Supreme and Venom Bites, which is a limited edition menu, has pizza, pasta, and dessert options inspired by the film. Yeah, once again, I'm not sure if I like a food item called Venom. Alien Romulus, the latest addition to the Alien franchise, is set to be released as a limited edition VHS tape on December 3rd. Talk about things that have disappeared. The tape celebrates the 45th anniversary of Alien and will come in a retro-looking case. And now you just have to find a retro VHS player to go ahead and actually play it. Yeah. TMZ said World Series tickets for the Dodgers and Yankees are sky high, with the cheapest seat for Game 1 in LA costing about $1,050. Game 2 is much more at $1,896. The prices don't get any better when the series shifts to New York either, with prices for Game 3 at about $1,600. And that kind of makes sense, because they're going to play another game after Game 1. After Game 3, then I can't even imagine how much those seats are going to be. But as much as I like watching baseball in person, yeah, I'm not necessarily interested in any of the teams they're doing. Let's see. Just got a text message, and it said old school maps. They are really hard to find anymore. When I started driving, they were everywhere, and now just motels and airports, if you even find them there. And by the way, yeah, you got GPS on your phone, so what do you need a map for unless the GPS just puts you in the wrong direction, which has happened to me. Be careful about Google Maps. That's all I'm going to say. And actually, that reminds me that there is one thing that I've noticed that has completely disappeared. When I travel with the Aggies, I used to pick up a postcard from all the places that I stayed for a friend of mine, and I can't find postcards anymore. You just can't find them. Like the hotels used to have, postcards, maybe advertising the hotel, talking about the history of it or whatever, some points like that. You can't find them in there. Can't find them at any of the gas stations around there anymore. But that's what I'm having trouble finding, is postcards when I'm traveling a little bit. So, yeah, that's one of those things. But once again, your answers for our question of the day: what has gradually vanished from society over the past 20 years without many people noticing it? And honestly, maybe social awareness right there. Yeah, I think that might be another one. Let me know your answers for our question of the day, brought to you by the Farmers and Crafts Market of Las Cruces.